to the people that we have in here, every single member at Kyron, I love you guys. You guys make what I get to do on a regular basis joyful. At times it's difficult. At times it's tiring. Waking up at 4 a.m. Most days is not ideal, but at the same time, it's worth it knowing that I am going to be able to have some sort of impact on your life. Now, if I see you all the time, that impact is there. If I don't see you all the time, it's difficult for me to have an impact. And it's challenging to keep up with all of the people that we have, or even people that we've had in the past, people that have moved away and whatnot. Those people, I still love you guys. I still, think about you. I still miss all of you. And so just knowing a little bit of my heart posture towards what I get to do, I still think about so many different people that we've had over the years. Um, my wife and I have owned this place for 12 years. We've owned Kyron for 12 years as of June 10th, and it is incredible to say that. It's crazy to think about. It's one of those things where it's like you have to pinch yourself almost sometimes to um, realize that you're still in reality and that it actually is a real thing that you've been in business for 12 years. And um, so, yeah, thank you for everything, for making this not so much a job, but something that I get to come to with the pursuit of helping you find every little bit of what you want to find out of yourself, out of the gym, out of life, whatever that may be. I can't tell you how many in-depth conversations I've had over the years, certain things I wasn't expecting, situations that were difficult to handle, but um, there was good that comes out of each one. And I don't want anybody in here to think that the gym is a cookie cutter thing, that it's easy to run, that it's something that is uh, never difficult. Um, there's a lot of difficulties in it, a lot of difficult conversations, a lot of difficult situations that I never asked myself to be in. But they are what they are, and I've been put in a position to help people, and hopefully this is of value to you. And I just want to say that if you're somebody that is on the outside looking in at the gym and you don't know anything about us, or maybe you've heard some things about us, hopefully they have been good things. If you've ever heard anything negative, I always suggest coming to the source before believing what you want to believe. Unless you hear something so many times that you're like, wow, there might be something here that I probably shouldn't be around, an environment probably shouldn't be in. But needless to say, the pursuit that I get to follow every single day of helping people, it has been an absolute joy for my life. It's giving me purpose. It gives me a place for my kids to see me in action. It gives my kids a place for them to see my positive habits and other people's positive habits. And they start to adopt them themselves. And I think it's so important that we understand that if you're not taking care of yourself, it's so important to understand that there is some little eyes, or there are eyes watching you and being inspired by you on a regular basis. Even if you don't think that you're inspiring or somebody that could have that type of impact, you can. Either it's with your physical fitness, maybe it's you're just a nice person. Gosh, I can't tell you how many great people that we have in here, how many wonderful relationships that I've developed that feel more so like siblings than they feel like friends. And for that, my gosh, I'm so thankful for. It's in-depth conversations that I've had with my wife about um, continuing, continuing to own the gym. Uh, it doesn't come, like I said, it doesn't come without trials, but at the same time, I love, 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 love what I do. And I can't express that enough. And I hope that when you're watching this, maybe you're on the other side of this, maybe you're thinking to yourself, gosh, this guy's really good at talking, or whatever that may be. But this isn't talking. If you're like wondering, or thinking these are just words, this is my heart. I can't explain to you what all of these people mean to me. You give me purpose. You give me a place to express my best self. And I've gained relationships out of the gym that are irreplaceable. And it's something it does, it does make me emotional because without some of the people in here, you wouldn't be you wouldn't have been able to express or um, encourage me in certain difficult life situations. Or, a friend of mine, I stepped down from worship on our church worship team, and for a little bit there. And the second I did that, I talked to my friend. Her name's Ashley. Talked to my friend about it. She was the first one to uh, tell me that's not what should continue. That's not how it should happen. That's not how it should end. And that I should be up there, and I should be giving myself to that, because she believes that God's called me to that. My wife expressing those things, and sending prayers up to for me. And yeah, man, it just, yeah, so many good things that have come out of this place. So many good relationships, so many ways to speak life into people. And I just want to say, like, out of all of this, it's not about me. It's not about what I can get out of it. It is 100% about what I can give to somebody else, and then what those people can do to have impact on others. Like, whether you believe that you have impact or not, I swear, like, just step into it. Gosh, if there's somebody you haven't talked to for a long time, I reached out to a friend last week, and the first message I got back was, "Man, I'm struggling." And I was like, God, God's timing is so good. And so I just, was able to have a great conversation with this person. Spoke some life into them, told them how much they're loved, how much I love them, and how much value they have to bring to the world. So I don't care if you're a dude out there, if you're a guy out there, and you're thinking to yourself, like, I can't express myself, I can't be vulnerable, screw that. Stop having this wall up, or stop trying to act like you're so tough, or like you just got to be tough because you're the man. Like, I can't cry. I can't break character here. It's like, you know what? Those are the people that we lose. And you can't do that, because there are people who love you. My gosh, if we would just get this, there are people that love you. You got to believe that. And God loves you. And whether you've been hurt by that, hurt by people, man, it's so important to establish that relationship. The worst thing in the world is a bored man. And I heard that in a podcast. The worst thing in the world is a bored man. I know I'm kind of sidetracking here. This is just me talking. This is just me putting my heart on my sleeve a little bit. But it's so important to understand that you have to be willing to talk. You have to be willing to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to look at certain things and understand that it is not okay to do life alone. Whether it's having a good close friend, maybe it's your spouse, or maybe it's a significant other, or whatever that may be. But it is so important to understand that you cannot do a life alone. And you can't be scared to talk to somebody if you're struggling about anything. So this is my little cry out for anybody who's dealing with any of these issues. Like, reach out and talk. Just be willing to have the conversations. Your life is worth it. Ladies, same thing. Your life is worth it. You have so much value. Gosh, without my wife, man. Yeah. So, drawing back in, like I said, sidetrack, but drawing back in, we uh we opened this in 2013, opened it on my parents' garage. Had a little bit of help here and there. Had some great people following us. Um, had some hiccups starting off, but we were blessed really early on. Jumped to 100 members fairly quick, and then everything just kept going, kept going. Things are great. The gym was growing. People are, excited to be a part of something that's bigger than themselves, and it's just continued to stay like that. Like I said, we haven't. It's not like everything has been perfect. We have had major things happen, things that were out of my control, and you just do your best to ebb and flow. You do. You have to. And you have to roll with the punches. You have to be willing to understand that life is going to hit you, and it's going to hit you as hard as it possibly can. But you have to be harder than that. You have to be harder than life. But again, not to the point of not being able to talk, right? So fast forward, we move into our new facility now. We've been here now for 5 years, almost 5 years fully. Actually almost 6 years fully. Wow. And now it's time to figure out the next step. And we have a location, we have a spot that we're looking at, but we need to figure out a couple things. Logistically, we need to figure out a couple things. We need to potentially sell our home. And that just even saying that, just saying those words of we need to sell our home. And it's contingent on this. But as my wife and I are walking into foster care as well, there's so many things we have going on. But my wife and I are walking into foster care, this place that we would potentially move to, but also then move our business to, could be the greatest blessing that our family could experience, not even in terms of space, but in terms of being able to give a child their own room. It would be incredible. Like our gym would be right there. I'd be right next door, to be able to help, to be able to do all of these things. But there's some contingencies here. We need to be able to sell our house to put down some payment towards a new place. But the opportunities with this space are so endless. So I'm kind of asking for your prayers and maybe your advice. We're trying to figure out, there's construction that still needs to be done in this home, but the space that it would give us, the freedom that it would give us to do so many different things. How we were thinking of worship and a winter wonderland type of thing going on in the wintertime, obviously, and just so many different things. Opportunities are endless to welcome people into our space and welcome people into our home, welcome a baby into our home, and to be able to give them a space where they're loved. And so we're walking into a new space, praying that God's timing and that God's, if it's God's will, then, those things will be done for us. And I'm trying to encourage you guys here too. Like, one of the most important things, have a relationship with Jesus. Have that. I'm telling you, like, that is a thing that did change my life in the best way. It surrounded me with community too, outside of the gym community, with people that are loving, caring, want to pray for you, want to literally just rain down heaven for you. River City Church is incredible for that. And maybe you've been hurt. Maybe you've been hurt by churches. Maybe you've been hurt by people. But Jesus is the one way. He is the truth, right? So with that being said, there's so much joy that I can find in that. The next thing I'm looking at here is just, there's so many different things. I could talk forever about this. Again, we've been in business now for 12 years. We're now potentially looking for our new space or finding purpose in the things that we're continuing to do and will continue to do to take us into this space. But I just wanted to really get on here and talk. Almost feels good. Feels like I'm venting a little bit to you guys. But I want you to understand that there's peace in this place. There is something special about the people that are here. And there's something special about being in a waiting season and knowing that God's plan is so much greater than our own. And so with that, I want to encourage you with that. If you've never opened up that door, if you've never said, Jesus, like, I want you to come into my life, like, my encouragement to you right now would be to just sit down. Don't feel like there's anything fancy you got to say, but just ask Jesus in your heart. And I promise you that life won't be perfect, but I can promise you that it will be better with him. So there's that, guys. That is the Chiron Collective today. That is me talking your ear off. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you would do me a favor, guys, I want to know more specifics about what you want to hear about, things that you are curious about, things you want to learn about, people you want to hear from, et cetera, et cetera. So if you can comment below for me on, again, for topics that you were curious on, I would love that. So with that being said, guys, we will talk to you later. Have a great night, day.